Hey everybody, it's James with Cold School, and I wanted to show you what I was working on. Hope y'all are having a good day. And closed loop miniature 9 quart ice chest air conditioner. So what I did, let me try to get the camera up here a little bit. So I've got a high fill point like you would a radiator on your car. So you just unscrew this, pour the water into here. This is really rough. Just had to get it all put together just really loosely. And the reason for this style here, the reason for this is for pretty much anybody can build this. And this is stuff, if you're in a decent sized city, you can probably buy everything right here for probably around $100, and that's including these radiators. So, and I'll explain everything. But this is closed loop, so let me get the camera down in there. You can see the pump down there. So the ice will go in here. This is an air box surrounding, and the ice will go here, and then the lid right there. This is just, like I said, the reason I built this was so you can get all the parts and put it together and have immediate air conditioner. And it blows really cold. I've used the same fan on this and the same setup on a larger scale, meaning more ice. And it was open loop. This will work a lot better. So the water, you pour it into the high point here like you would your radiator, unscrew that, and the water will go straight down there to, let me get straight here, to the water pump. It'll come out of the water pump, go into this radiator, over to this side, and it'll come out here, go to a second radiator, come back out, and go through the copper tubing, which the ice, when it touches the copper tubing, will chill the copper, and copper and aluminum transfer energy, meaning temperature, heat, cold, really fast. So once this is filled with ice, it'll travel through there and then come back up to a return here and then back into the high point. Just so basically works just like a heating or cooling system on your automobile. And there's just enough room. I had to change the orientation of the fan to blow forward instead of like this one I had sideways. This one has a big controller. I'm going to do it different. So the reason I say I'm going to do it different, you're not going to be able to always find a switch that goes inside of here and a project box like that. So you can get all of this at either Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, any hardware store, and or marine store. So where I grew up in Texas, you could just go to Walmart and buy these Atwood fans here, and they're about $25, $4 or $5 for this 3-inch thin wall PVC. About $8 to $10 a piece for these PC radiators. So if you're in a city with a big computer store, you can buy these at your computer store, or you can order them on Amazon. And the tubing you can get at any hardware store, at Lowe's, Home Depot, or Ace Hardware. Some of them in the bigger cities will sell this to you by the foot, and some of them in a smaller town will make you buy the whole roll. And I'll be putting kits together, so if you want to make it easy, you can just buy the whole kit and I'll supply everything. And the copper tubing you can get at Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Home Depot. And these parts here, PVC, you probably use CPVC. This is just PVC. You can get it the same as the other stores I've mentioned, including this nylon elbow with a barb on it, and 3/4 inch threads. It might be 1/2 inch. Yeah, it's 1/2 inch, sorry. And a 1/2 inch plug. And you can go brass if you want, or whatever. And I used let me see if I've got it where I put it. So I used a 4-inch hole saw to cut these holes out, because the width of these is 4¼ I'm sorry, this is a 4¼ I just bought this the other day specifically for this project. So that's 4¼ across, 4 5/8, and about 4 3/4 up. So to get enough airflow through that, that's about right. To do it really, really well and get more airflow across the cooling fins is to use a jigsaw and cut a rectangular hole out. But the reason I did this was to cut back on time that you would have to throw this together. The wires, this is for the pump. I'll have a separate toggle switch, which you can get at any of the above mentioned stores. I say above as if it was written. You can get them at any automobile, AutoZone, Advance Auto, Napa, local hardware store. You can even use a 120 110 toggle from Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that if you want. And but this is all a 12-volt system. The pump's 12 volt. This fan is 12 volt. The whole thing runs on less than 2.5 amps. I think it runs on less 2.25 amps. Maybe, I think it's less than 2 amps total. I think the website or Amazon says this runs higher than it does. I have a kilowatt and I tested it. They don't run they don't use as much as electricity as they say on the website. And the little pump doesn't use not even a half an amp. So I used to run this fan and a pump on a 35 amp hour battery for probably 5 days. I think it was a 35 amp hour. It might have been 100 amp hour. I used it 8 hours a day at night. And and this bucket, you can get these at Walmart or Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware. Now the difference here, I've got the taller ones. They're taller at Lowe's than they are at Walmart, according to the current brands that they carry. And I was originally, just matter of fact, an hour ago, I put the radiator inside the bucket, which is the ice container, to chill the water, which I would probably be quicker, maybe a minute or two, but as fast as this water travels, this is a better deal. And you can get more ice in there. If you put the radiator in there instead of the tubing, shape-wise, it's hard to get ice on either side because you have to the orientation of the flex tubing, latex tubing to go on these ends here was really hard to get them lined up. I did it a little earlier. It's just this would be better. And this is about $10, $11. This is 10 feet, I think. Where does it say? 1/4 inch. Here it is. 1/4 inch OD, which is the outside diameter, and it's real. It works. Now I would put clamps on this tubing because this is made for barbs. Now this barb is actually a little bigger, but this tubing, just for this example, it's easier to work with this. Doesn't last forever like the clear latex tubing, but if you just need air conditioner now in a van life, or if you're in the Philippines or Vietnam or India, or just somewhere hot and you need something that you can put together in one day and get all the parts, this is what you want to do. And when I was young, we used to chill our gas when we were racing so the gasoline would be colder. And we would basically get a soup can or a big something from the kitchen, a big iron can, cut it open, put copper tubing in it, and run our gasoline through here and put ice and chill it and to make it burn faster. And so anyway, that's what we got going on today. I hope I didn't leave anything out, but you can build this air conditioner. I sorry about this one having partial brand on it. Oh, and another thing, the cooler you can get for $10 at Walmart. You can get them online. They're a little more online. Or you can get them at a flea market or Facebook Marketplace or somebody selling one used. And I think I bought this one for $3 or $5. So you can get them used a couple dollars cheaper. And like I said, for about $100, maybe $120 at the most, $110, but about $100, including screws, a couple of two switches. not like this. Like I said, you don't have to do that. You can get a toggle for the fan and a toggle for the water pump, and also a cigarette plug male to hook up to the two toggle switches to operate. That way, when if you're bleeding this, and I can put one together for you, and I can bleed it and everything. You can run water through this, or you can run organic antifreeze, which is non-toxic, is what they use in computers to cool computers, and it's colored, and you could use clear tubing, and you could see the color if you want. But this is, like I said, something you could put together literally in one day, and it is very cold. And I'm scaling it down so I can send them overseas. I've got a new store I'm building to sell parts and kits. And if somebody wants it assembled, they can pay the labor, and I can assemble one. And but they're for people to carry around overseas. And when you go, the thing about it is you can use this anywhere. You can run it off of solar. You can run it off a little bitty 12-volt battery, like you would put in a deer feeder or something like that. I don't hunt, but that's what we call them in Texas. I'm in Kentucky now, so getting the lingo different and everything. Little square 3.5, 5, 7 amp hour battery from Lowe's for 15, 12, 20 bucks. And you can run this thing, and pretty good. But you could run this off your car, and just you have to watch your electrical usage. But like I said, it uses right at or less than 2 amps. And I'll go into more detail and put some links in a more detailed video. I just wanted to put this together to give you some hope if you just need an emergency air conditioner. And this isn't a swamp cooler, it's an actual air conditioner. It blows very, very cold. I've used one for years, and it's the same concept, same fan, ice, radiators. And the reason, so let me share this too. The reason I've got 2 radiators here is because the radiator that I used to use on a bigger one was right here. So I'm building another ice chest solar air conditioner for a to hold more ice with this unit, which I've shown in another video. So that'll be the ice container, which is larger than this, but this isn't terribly portable to carry around town from house to house. And the radiator size is what I wanted to share, that this radiator here versus 2 of these is about right. So it's pretty close. So that's why I say this is really cold, is because you're getting the same airflow with the same fan that I use with a smaller ice container. Plus, this is closed loop, which means you don't put water in here. You just put ice in here, and you put water in. The ice and the water never touch. And the reason that's very, very, very important is because when water and ice touch, the reason the ice melts so fast is not because the temperature is different. What makes the ice melt so fast is a chemical reaction between the molecular structure of ice, which is frozen water, and thawed water. When they're at different temperatures, severely different like that, they have a different molecular structure, and when they touch, it actually causes a chemical reaction, which makes the ice submit to the chemical molecular build of the water. It's not because of the temperature. So that's why I went with a closed loop version, is so the water and the ice never touch. And so that's what I'm doing here with this bigger one, like this. About the same square inches for the flow. And one more important thing, I know I keep saying one more thing, this is highly important, more important than you know, is the width of this. So this is about 1 inch. Now the tank is wider, so don't go by the tank if you buy one online. And then this, you can see that that little frame is a little wider, but not terribly wider. So when you measure that, I can't get that over there real quick. If you measure that, the whole base is about an inch. So the actual part is about 7/8 to 15/16. So the width, or the thickness, I'm sorry, of these is the same. If you get one too thick, this just using one fan will not pull all the moisture through these small radiators. They get so cold, it creates a lot of condensation in real hot, humid climates, and that fan can't pull it through. It doesn't spit water out, it just can't pull it through. It gets too cold too fast. So it took a long time to get the basic square inches surface space and the thickness to be just right for using one fan. Now you can use more fans and a stronger fan. So I just wanted to throw that at you. And this is something else I was going to use for a submerged. If you put in transformer AC, I got a video, I think like at the time of this recording, it's got 40,000 views or so. And I made it out of this particular radiator. But now this is wider than that, but you can see it's not much wider, but it's too thick and it was too small and it got too cold too fast. So anyway, portable air conditioner you can build in one day and have freezing cold air conditioning. And as the ice melts in here, you can add more because the water level will go down, add more ice, and then when you want, you can just tilt it over and pour the water out, add more ice, and you can run this thing 24 hours a day. And just to give you an idea, I'm in an RV park here in Kentucky. This is what I drive, so if you ever see me on the highway, say hi. I can cool, that's an 8x12 room. I can cool that room with this air conditioner. Now to keep it running long enough without it ever cutting off, you can run the tubing into another container the same size full of ice and have a bigger coil basket or radiators or submerged one like that, and then you can make them as big as you want. You can make them like that, twice as big. You just keep scaling up or scaling down. This one is for to carry around, like I said, overseas. And I also power these with, it looks like a laptop charger, but it's not. It's just a portable it's a power supply. You plug it in a 110 and it has a barrel plug on the end. Similar, actually, it's the same as this. So it has a barrel plug on the end like that. This pump has a barrel plug and this one doesn't. I did that on purpose because I'm going to put toggle switches on this. But you can step it up a little more high tech and use all plug and play stuff, but you'll have to order most of that, and I'll do another video on the plug and play version of this. Another thing, this is 10 feet of coil. I have a lot more here. That's just a 10-foot rung. Like I said, for $100 to $120, you can have everything if you've got the tools. Have air conditioner in 24 hours, self-build. And I will do another one with 20 feet to where the coil pretty much goes all the way up. That's probably the best way to do it, and to grab the temperature from the chilled ice water and convert it over here. So that's about it, and I hope y'all have a good day, and good luck with your build. And I'll do another video on that one when I get it ready. And y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.